name is Christiana Chineme. I'm traveling back to the US. Oh, that's a big question and a good one too. It's because people really don't understand what domestic violence means. So I am trying to make people aware what the domestic violence is and also how to recognize it, what to do when you recognize it, both for the victim and the perpetrator, so that we can cope, especially in the Christendom where people use, the Bible to subjugate their women. So that's my area of focus: domestic violence in the Christian community or in the Christendom or religious organization. No, domestic violence can, if the perpetrator can be a man or a woman. Oh yeah, I remember one time I had a domestic violence awareness month, an event in the US, and there was this guy, who is also a Nigerian, who came to me and said, "You know what? I never really understood domestic violence the way you presented it, because what we try to do is to create the awareness." So and that's not just him too. But there was another lady who approached me and told me, the same thing. And then some people who have been helped by it to recognize it, take themselves away from it or decide on how to really get a resolution to it. Yes, people are getting the information they need to make an informed decision on domestic violence. Oh yeah, of course. And I've always believed in the prevention is better than cure. That is why I am doing the awareness, because it's better prevented than for it to even happen or to start. So if we are able to, catch people before they even perpetrate it, that's a plus for us, because that's my aim, so that it doesn't happen. The fix in marriage is what we call the marital quarrels, or lovers quarrels. But domestic violence is where a partner in a relationship, which could be between husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, where one person is using I can say power, or trying to use this thing to subjugate the other person to their own decision. Let me just give you for example, when a partner is bent on the husband or the wife living the life they want them to live without even giving them the leeway to be who God made them to be. So there is also a coercion, and in that case too, which could be financial, where somebody coerces a partner into them doing something that they don't want to do, or that they didn't really want to do. And then there is also sexual abuse, where somebody overpowers the partner. And don't think that rape is only the man raping the woman. We've had few cases where the woman was raping the man. So
And that was in the marriage, right?
yes, it could be in the marriage or not the marriage, but domestic violence, most importantly, is between people who are intimate partners. But it doesn't mean that it does not include, somebody on the street who would just approach a girl and the girl says no, and then, but that may not be domestic violence, but that is a violence against the woman. So my organization, what we really dwell on is violence, and this violence could include domestic violence or any other violence. So when somebody is really bent on getting the other person to do their bidding, using force, threats, whatever it is, to get what they want from another person. And even there is also elderly abuse under under the domestic violence. You have elder abuse, where some children use threats, force, or anything to get something from their parents or from their grandparents. And sometimes they beat them up just to take what they have. So those are included under the domestic violence. So it's not just between a husband and a wife. It's inclusive of anything that happens between intimate partners or people who have intimate relationships. Don't even start, because sometimes when you start you can't stop. So the best thing with domestic violence is don't even start. If you're having a quarrel with somebody, you know that it's intimate, whoever it is anyway, tend to walk away. There is an Igbo adage that says that the weak holds the life of the
The
strong
strong.
man in his hands, because you never know how that weak person can, strike back, and then the person who consider themselves, the strong person can drop dead. So better not start, because sometimes when you start, you don't stop.